I think we'll go around and do the round robin of introductions. I know we used to do that, and then sort of in the last couple of weeks before Christmas, because we'd got to know everybody, we stopped to a degree, but it's just in case there's anybody here today that you haven't heard their voice before. It'll give you an opportunity to be able to identify who's who. So just to also let you know, and I'll ask you in case you've got any issues with it, I am recording this session. I've been doing that over the last few weeks. I've only been putting the audio up, and obviously I've been trying to edit some of the audio before we've been putting it up on the website, but then we have been making it available to you so that you know, if you miss anything, you have to opt out, you can catch up at a later date. So I have already pressed the record, and I'll sort of edit out any chat at the beginning. So I think most people know me anyway, but I'm Louise Jelly, and Vision Support Officer with Warwickshire Vision. So, and as you know, I've been running these for a few weeks. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go around my screen. I'm going to come to Owen last, because I'm going to ask Owen to introduce himself more fully, because Owen's a new member of staff with Warwickshire Vision. So, Robert in the corner, can you just say hi and tell us which geographical area you're from? You're muted at the moment, Robert.
Yeah, that's it. Am I there?
Yeah, you're there now, Robert. Hi, Robert. Do you want to just introduce yourself? Tell people whereabouts you're from.
I'm Robert Franklin from Rugby, Vision Support.
Brilliant. Great. Thanks very much. Nikki with a Q.
I'm Nippy. I'm in Leamington Spa.
Okay, we've got Kate. Are you there, Kate?
Oh, Kate from Nuneaton.
Lovely. James?
So I'm James, I'm from Stratford upon Avon.
Mai, whereabouts are you from?
I'm from Hampton Magna and wish everybody a happy new year. Hi. Oh, I promoted myself from a nobody to a dependent of Warwickshire Vision. Because a few weeks ago I said I was a nobody. I wasn't a volunteer, and I didn't do this and I didn't do that. So I'm a dependent.
Well, you're a very welcome dependent. So you keep us entertained. Some rotten jokes at Christmas, but yeah. But and then we have Andrew, or Silly Grandad.
Oh, hello everybody. Yes, my name is Andrew Harris. I'm a volunteer working in the IT arena. I should probably be best known as Melanie's sidekick, because it was Melanie who brought me into this, but I love working with you all, so it's nice to join you today.
Hi. Jane.
Yes, hi everybody, Happy New Year. I'm from Stratford upon Avon. I too am very dependent on Warwickshire Vision Support.
Welcome. Chris.
Also Stratford, that's three of us then. Yes. I'm from Stratford upon Avon, and I only joined at the end of last year, really, didn't I?
Yeah. Well, you're very welcome. So, Kath.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Kath Phelps. I'm in Harbury, which is near Leamington. I'm a long-term volunteer, so I am actually sighted, and I thought you were called beneficiaries rather than dependents.
Yes, nice.
Oh,
that seems like a posher word to me.
Yeah. No, I think we normally, it's beneficiaries or service users, but yeah, hopefully no one's totally dependent on us. But yeah, no one can. We've got Chris, who's on this. He's listed as Jenny, but it's Chris. Do you want to say hi, Chris?
Hi everyone. Happy New Year. And I'm from Stratford.
Another Stratford.
Well, four of us.
Four of us now. Gosh,
the Stratford Mafia, actually, isn't it? Definitely.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll go slightly north of the border now. How about Paul? Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, I'm Paul, and I'm from Coleshill, so I'm not from Stratford. New Year to everybody as well.
Yeah, Happy New Year, Paul.
And then Melanie.
Yeah, hi, Mel. I'm an IT volunteer, and I'm from Stockton.
Hi, Mel. Rose. Hi, Rose.
Hello, Happy New Year, everybody. I'm Rose, and I'm from Rugby.
Great. Okay, I'm going to introduce Owen now. Obviously, like I say, there might be more people joining us, and but we will kick off. So I'd like to introduce Owen Williams, as what it says on the screen. Owen's just joined us at Warwickshire Vision Support. He's very new, literally started on Monday. Maybe Owen can introduce himself and tell us a little bit about his role. I think he's, or maybe that's putting him under too much pressure. But yeah, anyway, welcome, Owen. If you want to just say hi.
Thank you, Louise. Hi. Hi, everybody. Happy New Year to you all. My name's Owen. Although I don't live in Stratford, my son does, so I don't know if that makes me part of the Stratford mafia or not, but I have connections there. As Louise said, I joined the team on Monday. I joined the team on Monday as the new administration and finance manager, so kind of an overarching role, looking after everybody and trying to help them out with any points they have. Prior to that, I spent 4 years as a practice manager in a veterinary practice in Upton upon Severn. And prior to that, I spent 27 years in the Royal Air Force. So I've been around the block a few times. I've got a bit of experience here, there and everywhere. And hopefully I can bring some of my knowledge to Warwickshire Vision Support. And I look forward to working with you guys and the rest of the team in the coming years.
Great. No,
welcome.
So most of you obviously know what the purpose of the meeting is, and we've sort of had a bit of a fluid agenda for the last few weeks with a few guest speakers, but today is very much an open session as it's the first one back after the new year. I thought it would give us an opportunity just to reconnect and catch up. If anybody's got any stories or things that they'd like to share about what sort of they've been up to over the last 2 weeks, that would be really nice to hear about. And then I've just got a couple of bits and pieces of information to share with you. And then with a view that we will obviously have more of a we've got somebody else joining, more of a formatted agenda next week. And we actually also have, not next week, the week after, because we're fortnightly, so have a guest speaker in 2 weeks' time, and I'll talk more about that at the end. So before we start sort of dealing with what I've got on my list, let's just have a sort of chat as much as anything and catch up with everybody. Has anybody got any stories that they would like to share? Tell us about how you got on over the last couple of weeks.
Yes, I had a very quiet Christmas. I was diagnosed with an infection in my right ear and wax in my left. So this is the first sound I really heard. I've just had my ears syringed out. So welcome to the new year. But as well as not seeing the wife's wrinkles, I haven't heard her voice either for over a fortnight. She hasn't got a
very
wrinkle.
happy about that.
Pardon?
You sound almost happy about that.
Well,
She had a quiet Christmas.
After 61 years, after 61 years, and she hasn't got a wrinkle is not too bad. The fact that I haven't seen the rest of her for the last 5 years or so is another thing.
Oh dear.
Well, I'm glad that you've got some hearing back again. Anyway, at least you know that she feels that the nagging that she's giving you is getting through to you now that your hearing's working again.
Well, since I'm back from the doctors, she hasn't said anything.
What do you think?
Don't let her know it's worked.
Well, thank you for sharing your.
Thank you.
So, what about anybody else? Who else has got some? Oh, I think we've got Jane's hand up. Yes, Jane.
Louise, I don't know whether anybody would be interested, but I had a rather frightening experience just before Christmas. I was walking along a private drive because I live in sheltered accommodation and we have quite a long drive round the complex. And I had an encounter with a car, but it was an electric car and I just hadn't heard it.
No.
It was a very nasty experience. And I just wondered if there was anything that we can do as an organisation to perhaps bring people's attention to this. I mean, it was a tremendous fright. And in fairness, it was a fright to the driver as well.
No, I think you're right. I think we can. I think there has been talk that I've heard about of people saying that they need to have some audible sound with a vehicle when it's moving at a certain speed. I don't know enough about it, but I think that's something maybe I can do some research on, and we can either consider as a group raising, can't we?
When
if
they
I
went,
could just point out, I volunteered, normally I volunteer at guide dogs at the training centre, well, NBC actually, the breeding centre, and they have a campaign about silent vehicles. So it might be worth getting in touch with them. I know they're not operational at the moment because of lockdown, but it might be worth getting in touch with them because they already have a campaign about this silent business. It was about the buses actually to begin with, cars. So it might be worth linking with them.
Yeah.
I think that's quite interesting because, I mean, I shop locally, but I mean, obviously I wouldn't dare cross a main road without using lights or crossing, but there are obviously little side roads that I have to cross, and it's unnerved me thinking, well, because I rely on my hearing so much, if it, to see if it is safe to cross even minor roads. So I'll get in touch with that. Where did you say that?
They're over at NBC, which is Bishop's Islington, and it's closed now. It's the puppy breeding station, and there is a branch also in Leamington. Somebody said they were from Leamington.
Yeah, it's not Bishop's Islington, it's Bishop's Tatchbrook.
That's right. Yeah, I always mix that up. I'm sorry. Thank you very much for that, Kath. My head's gone into lockdown. There's also a centre in Leamington, but the people from Leamington are now moving out to the NBC because it's a big newish facility. Yes.
I've just
Right,
Googled.
thank you very much indeed for your help. Or for the suggestions. I'll see if I can follow those up.
I've just Googled this. And can I read it out to you because it's interesting?
Yes, please.
Yeah, if you do, because I've just Googled the same. So if you go, carry on, Kath, off you go.
New electric vehicles will have to feature a noise emitting device under an EU rule coming into force on Monday.
Yeah.
It follows concerns that low emission cars and vans are too quiet, putting pedestrians at risk.
It's up to 16 mile per hour that it makes a noise. So we have a electric car. So up to 16 miles per hour, they make a squealy noise. And then over 16 miles per hour, they basically don't make a noise because it would emit the same noise as the noise of a normal car's tires on the roads.
Yeah.
The only problem that you've got is when electric cars are reversing, they don't actually make any noise at all. So that's, yeah. But they do actually make a noise up to 60 mile an hour.
Okay. I must admit the campaign that Chris refers to is on the Guide Dogs website, Why We're Campaigning.
Yes.
It's called Safe and Sound. Quiet electric and hybrid vehicles are hard to hear as they make less sound than conventional cars to protect pedestrians, including people living with a visual impairment. Guide Dog wants the government to make it compulsory for quiet vehicles to have sound generating systems built and turned on. It then sort of gives some statistics, and let me just have a look what they're doing. I think what we can probably do is, because there is campaigns and they want to hear from us, is I'm quite happy to, sorry, let me just let someone else in. I'm quite happy to write a letter on behalf of service users to Guide Dogs to say that we want to support and join their campaign, and obviously
Very good.
Yeah. They'll have to do the same as they did with locomotives when they went quiet, the diesels and the electrics, and they painted big yellow panels on the front and back of them. That looked nice on a brand new car.
I love your sense of humour.
Well, you've got to laugh, haven't you?
You have to. Yeah.
Just hope they don't grandfather in all of the existing vehicles that are being produced without noise emitting systems.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write.
I can't hear what you're saying. Okay. Sorry, I'm shouting at the wife.
All right.
I think that's a good idea, Louise. Yeah, if you don't mind writing on our behalf.
Yeah, no, what I think I'll do is I'll write a letter, but obviously it may well be that they want some anecdotal comments as well about people's experiences and the challenges that they faced. Obviously, what Jane's just said is one. So with the emails that I send out, by all means, if you've experienced something similar to Jane, if you've literally had a problem with a silent vehicle, then by all means, by return of email, just drop me a line, and then I can collate those responses anonymously, but put that within the sort of letter to sort of emphasise the situation. Okay, that's
Sounds good as well.
Thank you very much.
What we'll do is, could I also make a suggestion? I think I talked about it before we had to do Zoom things when I came into the Methodist Hall on one occasion, that we could probably get someone from Guide Dogs to do a talk for us. I'm in contact with them, although we're not open for business. So maybe I could put a feeler out to see if anyone would be prepared to come in on a Zoom link and do a little presentation.
Yeah, no, that would be lovely, because we've got some slots at the moment. Kate Perkins, who sometimes joins me on this video group, is trying to put a diary of speakers together. So Chris, that would be lovely if you could do that and then let me know.
What I could do is send an email in to them and say, is there anyone who'd be prepared to put together a Zoom? I mean, we do talks. They go around with the guide dogs and do presentations.
Christine?
So it could be a possibility. So I could get in touch with them and see what comes of it.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. Christine, I could just say I am actually a trained guide dog speaker, because I'm a guide dog volunteer as well. So
Melanie, I think I've got to get you. I work as a tour guide at NBC, so that's good. Yes.
Yes. So I might be able to save you one of those links. While I'm just speaking, if I could just mention to Jane over this business of the electric cars, I know not everyone likes to carry a white cane. And I realise that, it's not for everyone. But I think one thing that we can do as visually impaired people, certainly if we have something, whether it's a guide dog or a cane or whatever, at least we are a warning to cars that we may not be able to see them. So it's certainly worth considering.
Yes, I mean, I couldn't go outside without using my cane, admittedly. But I did have it.
Good.
Yeah. Okay, that's great, thanks. What I just want to do at this point is we've had a few people join us since we started, so I just want to welcome David, who's listed on the screen as HP user. Hi David.
Hi everyone, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, David.
Happy New Year.
We've also had Nikki McCloskey join us. Hi Nikki.
Hiya.
Ian. Hi Ian.
Hi Louise, sorry I was a bit late. Noisy neighbour I had to deal with.
And Maria's joined us as well. Hi Maria.
Hello everybody, Happy New Year.
Hi, Maria.
Happy New Year.
Could I just mention to Mel, we're getting a lot of glare back on your screen, Mel. It's hard to see you.
My
have you got,
screen?
Yeah, no, currently it just says your name on it.
Yeah.
But when your picture comes up, it's difficult to see you with it. Might just be sunshine behind you.
I don't think I've got my video switched on, Ian.
Oh, who is it then? Oh, it's somebody else possibly then. I thought it was yours that came up, Mel. Sorry.
No, not guilty.
Someone's got brilliant sunshine or brilliant reflection behind them.
It might be me actually.
No, it's not you. No, that's not you.
I've got lights on.
No, not you, mate. There you go.
Yeah, that's it.
Who is it?
Next to be a queue.
No, it's not you, mate. I think it was a woman. Is there another woman?
Chris has got the sunshine.
Yeah,
it's not you.
That's it.
Is it me?
Yeah,
the sunshine.
I'm sorry.
Yes, you've got strong sunshine behind you, or a strong
Yes,
reflection.
I have. Yes, I could have forgotten. I have to go in 5 minutes anyway.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Great. What we were just doing, we were just giving the floor open to all of you guys, for those that have just joined us, really, just to sort of do a catch up and find out if anybody got any stories or incidents. And Jane was just telling us about a sort of near miss actually before Christmas with an electric vehicle due to not hearing it. But so, is there anybody else that would like to talk about anything?
Could I, on a serious note, years ago they used to have trolley buses, particularly in Cardiff, and they were silent. So did they ever have anything that made them more obvious?
Possibly
And secondly, I know that people don't like using sticks and such like, but if you notice on the television and things, if you have people in yellow high-vis vests, they are working on the road. If they are orange, they're working on the railway. So could they not consider a high-vis system which we can wear, which makes it more obvious to the motorists than perhaps the white stick?
I think sometimes you can get high-vis armbands that people have worn in the past. Obviously, I think it's personal choice, Maya, and I think there actually are quite a lot of high visibility jackets and additions like tabards and things it's more of a personal choice, isn't it? And I think, as Melanie says, really it's trying to make yourself identifiable in whatever way. And so whether or not, in addition, especially on sort of the shorter days with the sort of the late afternoon sort of becoming dark quite quickly, making sure if you are out around that 4 o'clock time that in addition to your white stick you've possibly got something which makes you a little bit more high visibility. I don't think we could enforce it, but
you can easily buy yellow high-vis vests, the type that truckers use when getting out of their trucks, when loading and unloading, or that they're worn by employees in factories. So you can buy them. My parents managed to buy a couple, and I had one in my car back when I was driving.
Can I say something about the trolley buses? I've noticed in Birmingham the tram is quite quiet, and there's a bell on it coming. A bell
at the door. It's just something coming through.
So maybe they had that on the trolley bus, perhaps. I don't know.
I know I had a fright once in the middle of Cardiff. I was on a motorbike, and a trolley bus came from nowhere, and that's all I could see was the glass panel at the feet of the driver. And he was pedaling like hell, and I thought, is he going to stop it? Is it stop, or is he going to hit me? But I'm here. But no, but going back to the high-vis vests or the high-vis clothing, it's a matter of color. As I said, orange and yellow are taken over, but whether there could be a sort of a green, a bright green, or something that would point us out as individuals.
Yeah, as a symbolism of a visual impairment rather than just
visual
being
impairment. And with my trouble, I'm sort of blind. I'm deaf blind, and as long as I've got my hearing aids, so therefore it won't make a lot of difference noise-wise. But you know, there is the double indemnity there.
Yeah, what I'll do is I'll have a look and see whether or not any other if there's anything online within the UK, but there may well be in other countries as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. America in particular are quite advanced in some of their aids for VIs, so they might have already gone down this route of introducing some form of national, or formal identification. So I'll report back on that one, definitely, Mike.
Don't ask Trump.
No, I won't ask Trump.
I must admit, I had trouble with a couple of the electric scooters over Christmas.
Yeah.
I had a lot of them kind of whiz past and clip me as they've gone past, taken my cane with them, which was nice of them.
And they're still illegal, aren't they?
They're illegal, yeah. But if you tell people that they're illegal, you then get them shouting in your face, which if you're on your own going for a walk, you don't want that. But yeah,
if you have someone with you who can take a photo, the police will accept that as evidence.
I was on my own both times, unfortunately. But yeah, they go around St Nick's and literally they're just flying around there.
Or if you know where it is, they can catch them on the CCTV, because as soon as they can see the incident that you've had an incident, that acts as evidence. Then it's obviously very difficult for visually impaired people to provide that evidence. Whatever we can do for ourselves, that the police will try to help.
If it's St Nicholas Park in Warwick, then
Yeah,
it wouldn't surprise me if there are some cameras somewhere around that park, Nikki. So if it's a regular occurrence, then that in itself might be worth just having reported.
And if that's is that owned by WDC?
It
St.
is,
Nick's?
yeah.
So
yeah.
in which case you can report it to their health and safety officer as well, and they will then put cameras in if they don't have them. You know, they'll take steps, put signs up at least, or you know, tell the park wardens. You know, so that they'll do what they can. But if they're the landowner, tell them then as well. If it's out in the street, obviously it's the police.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm no friend of cyclists, because I reckon they should have that's a high visibility clothing, and also a bell and lights. So I had an incident in Swan Street last autumn with cyclists cycling the wrong way down Swan Street while I was crossing it. So hit the cyclists as well.
Literally. Literally.
Not physically. Not physically.
I think cyclists are a little bit of a law unto themselves. So I apologise if there is anyone here that are a cyclist, but yeah,
I don't care about that.
Sorry, don't wish to be cycle bashing, but the number of cyclists that I see going through red lights and just breaching all of the different rules at different junctions, and then they wonder whether they have an accident, but it's the car driver that would
exactly.
You know,
the only comfort, Louise, is that these idiots will eventually take themselves out of the gene pool because they'll be squashed against a tree somewhere one day.
Darwin Awards.
Unfortunately, not all of them don't win a Darwin Award.
Yeah. I don't wish that upon them, but I do think that there needs to be some a proper offence which is enforceable against a cyclist, so that they don't, because at the moment they think they can get away with everything. Sorry, Kath.
Well, they do.
Do get away with a lot, yeah.
Yeah. I have just quickly Googled CCTV cameras at St Nicholas Parks, and there was a call actually to the local authority to get cameras installed in April 2019 due to swan thefts. So it's quite possible they haven't got them at the moment, but all I would say is it's definitely worth reporting to the local Safer Neighbourhood team within Warwick. So if they're going to do patrols, then they're the ones that need to be catching them. So and as we sort of often say, you know, the more people that make the complaints, the better, rather than just one person. So again, I'm quite happy to send a letter or an email to the Safe Neighbourhood team on your behalf. But obviously, if it comes from you as individuals as well, then that's likely to garner more, you know, sort of more momentum to get something done. Okay.
Yeah, but it'll still be good coming from you because you are a partner organisation, so they will take account of what you say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll email the Safer Neighbourhood team. That's probably the best way to say there's been a problem identified with these electric scooters or whatever they are in St Nick's.
Yeah.
I do have a good point.
Just interrupt and say bye-bye because I have to go right now. So happy New Year, everybody. It's been lovely to chat. And Melanie, look forward to you doing a presentation, and maybe I can get NBC to back up. Okay, take care.
Okay, wonderful.
Cheers, bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Christine.
Bye. Take care.
Can I just ask a question? What is NBC?
The National Breeding Centre, the Guide Dog Breeding Centre.
Right. Right. Okay. Now I know what it is.
Yeah.
Louise.
Sorry, I just wanted to
my
say
screen's moved. I'm walking.
There's so many of us talking now.
Yes. Sorry, Ian. Yes.
Oh no, the other lady's trying to get a word in.
No, you go first, Ian.
Are you sure? Because I'm changing the subject. So if you're still on the same subject.
No, it was a different subject as well, but you go first.
Right. So apologies if this has come up already, but now that we've finally Brexited, we need to know what the usability is of our blue badges in the EU now that we're not in it, because when we were in the scheme, obviously we could use our blue badges in all the countries and enjoy the same parking rights. I simply don't know what our parking rights are on the continent now, you know, using the blue badges, or are we to come out and join a new scheme, or do we still, on an honorary basis, are we still part of it? I simply don't know.
I will.
I don't know, but on a related note, I know anybody who's got an EU number plate has to change it.
Right, yeah. Does anyone have an answer to Ian's question? Because if not, what I'll do is I think we'll treat that as an advocacy issue, and I'll basically again we will do some research and find out if they've even got that far of considering that particular issue.
Yeah.
But, I can't answer it. I don't know. So
isn't it great that we've not been told though? You know, you're a visually impaired recognised organisation, and you haven't even been told. You know, it's terrible.
No, you're quite right. No, if I'm being honest, apart from seeing, well, there are two things. My son recently got a new passport, and it's black, so he's got one of the new British passports, whatever they are.
Yeah.
And apart from that, and then seeing the overhead notice boards on motorways about preparing your documents, I have to say I have not aware of any other guidance that myself as an individual, as a citizen, might need to know. So it's very much geared towards businesses. So I think if there is nobody that can answer Ian's question, I've made a note of it.
Yeah, please.
Exact question that you've put, and we will try to see if we can get an answer for you.
I think it is something perhaps the RNIB might know, but it's something we all need to know before planning any continental holidays, isn't it?
Definitely.
I would think it's likely, Ian, that it might be individual countries. I think you may well find, because
it might be, yeah.
I mean, I'm amazed that you're planning to go abroad already.
I'm not. No, I'm not. No. I'm only asking.
With COVID as well, you're going to get.
I'm only asking it as a general interest question. I've got no plans at all.
You little devil, you. You've got to dig your way out, don't you?
There's a few too many people done that already have managed to escape. But,
and that's why, yes, I've got friends in South Africa who can't get back with their kids.
Yeah, my sister's out there.
Yeah.
She can't get back.
No.
But okay, Nikki, you wanted to say something or say something.
I was going to say I've used. I'll put the horse's teeth back in. Sorry. I used the new crossing that's in West Street in Warwick. So that was it was installed just before Christmas. And I must say that the drivers kind of pay attention to it more than they do at the crossing, down the crossings down the high street. So it was a lot easier to cross the road in West Street than it used to be. So I just kind of wanted to say, if you are walking around, you're probably not, but if you are, then West Street is a lot easier to cross the road now than it was before. So you're not stood there for a good 40 minutes waiting for somebody to flash their lights at you. They'll literally stop pretty soon as they see like your cane or the guide dog and let you cross.
One of the new style ones or one of the old style ones?
It's one of the new style ones. It's just in front of the fish and so it's just in front of the fish and chip shop.
It's all right, I'm in Kenilworth, but I will give you words of warning that I have one fairly close to me opposite a school, and quite often, I mean, we've had one there for about 2 years or so, and at the time, no, it might have been even further back, my then guide dog trainer was walking across that road with small children and nearly got ran down. So don't think that just because it's a new style one, drivers actually understand them. They're not.
Oh, no.
Right, yeah, I would just they recognise the old style ones, but these new ones visually apparently do look quite different. And I have seen more than once I've stood and waited when drivers should have stopped and haven't. So
so there's no white, there's no black and white paint on the floor. It's just the bubbles of the path are there. Yeah. And then I find the end of the pavement with my cane and wait, and it's quite quick for people to stop. I don't literally just walk. That's not.
Because it's a real bone of contention here. I've seen small kids who've gone across and thought they're going to be all right, and they've been hauled back by parents because they now have a large, I think it's about 20 meters either way, markings on the road. I think they're yellow, and they're supposed to actually adhere to that, and they don't.
Okay, I'll have a look when I go out next time.
But be careful, because I seriously doubt Warwick drivers are any better than Kenilworth ones.
No. Thank you for the warning.
Stratford, that's for sure. And that's even we little sailors still come across the road, well, the zebra crossing and stuff won't stop.
No.
Are you saying there's a brand new design of peloton and puffin crossings?
It was an EEC approved design a few years back. It looked quite different from the old-fashioned thing with the flashing orange doodle on the top.
Yeah, there's none of that. It's
No,
just
it's all
literally, it's just like the bobbles are on the path up to the end of the actual curb, and then you've got a bit in the middle for you to get to, and then you've got the bobbles again on the other side.
From the old days as well.
I've lost me.
And there's just no paint on the floor though.
There's no lights at all.
There is lighting on the top, but it looks visually quite different. Because I can't see it myself, I don't know, but I'm told it looks very different. It's not recognisable like the old days where you had a sort of black and white hole that was painted and the orange glow on the top winked. It's not like that. It looks quite different now. But get somebody in to describe it to what it looks like.
I've seen zebra crossings that have got a ring of orange lights going around them. Is that what you're talking about?
Maybe, I don't know, I can't remember. I won't trust them as far as I can check them.
Yeah, I was just trying to see if I could find any images, but I'd have to actually look at the ones that you're referring to physically to know that I'm describing the right thing. Otherwise, I could be doing a disservice. But,
I'm confused about whether it's zebra crossings, puffins, or pelotons.
there's some
push buttons involved at all.
It's something we're supposed to get across in one piece. That's the theory.
Yeah. Well, I think from that is basically everyone take care and make sure. And the difficulty is you can't, if you're significantly visually impaired, you're not even going to be able to necessarily see their reactions on their faces. Sometimes that's what we look for, isn't it? As cues as sighted drivers, is we look at the sort of expressions on the other driver's face. And so it's an added level of challenge.
Well, when I cross a road, I always wave my white cane at the driver to acknowledge the fact they've stopped. So they're aware that A, I'm crossing, and B, that they know that I'm grateful for what they've done.
Yeah.
And thank you for not killing me.
Maybe that's something else again that when youngsters, not just youngsters, but when people are going through a driving test and learning that they actually sort of have it more explained to them and have some better appreciation of somebody, whether it's not just a visual impairment, but it could be a physical impairment when they're having to try to navigate crossing a road, sort of being more tolerant and patient, really.
And also people often with autism have the same problem as well, because they're never sure. I've talked to people with that who have got mental abilities and don't necessarily understand it. I mean, we are relatively obvious if we've got a white cane or a dog or something, but those with other issues who might not process like we do, they're even more vulnerable.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, most of us are compos mentis some of the time.
But it is an issue, and it's sadly we tend to hear about it when there's an instance occurred and someone's been seriously injured or killed. So so just stay safe out there. Now I had a couple of messages that Andrew put in the chat with a couple of links about there's one called the Blue Badge Company. I have had a quick look at it. I haven't been able to fully read, so I don't want to start giving you answers about blue badges abroad just at the moment, but there is some information out there, and hopefully we'll come back and can deal with that maybe next week.
Let's get the official answer, from our IB or the government.
You can find gov.uk and also Citizens Advice using your blue badge abroad, or the EU countries.
Yeah,
so you can find them in Citizens Advice and gov.uk.
Yeah, we'll read it and then we can give you the sort of an abridged guidance to work to, which is good. Now, Robert's you've got your hand up, Robert. What would you like to say?
Well, it was a bit earlier actually. I wear a yellow tabard, not only for work, but only when I used to go to Coventry and then go to Leamington Macula, or if I go to the hospital in the evening, So I do wear a yellow thing, and they're worth having.
Yeah, yeah.
You can get them off the market quite cheap.
Or
So,
British Blind Sports.
Yeah, British Blind Sport.
There's some written visually impaired, something visually impaired person in a yellow shirt, and it's large print as well, like right. So it's quite
if you
good.
start a cheap vest, Screw
They're
Fits
like-
and sell them.
He's holding up a magazine with some work type vests, fluorescent yellow ones. It looks like a good.
But also
Brilliant.
years ago, guide dog owners used to get a thing called the Sam Brown.
That's right.
Because I'm no longer a guide dog owner, I've still got mine. But Ian, you still got dogs. Do they still provide Sam Brown?
I don't have a dog anymore, and my Sam Brown went back with the dog. But they do provide them. Right, they may ask you for that back at some stage, but anyway.
The dog's been gone 7 or 8 years.
Oh, right. Oh, well, you keep it then. But they provide them when you get a new dog, but they don't provide them if you're not a guide dog client. If you're just a cane client, they don't provide them.
Isn't that a shame?
I think Robert.
Well, at the end of the day, that's what our PIP is for, isn't it? You know, we've got to be realistic. We can't have PIP and all the equipment free as well. You know, we've got somewhere there's got to be a balance.
Yeah, but guide dogs also provide long cane training.
They do, but they don't. But they're not funded to provide other equipment, just the training. Yeah.
Okay,
At the end of the day, somebody's got an old one in a cupboard somewhere, haven't they?
Yeah, I've still got mine.
Yeah, Robert's showing us his. He's sort of flashing.
And they've got a
up on
zip
screen.
as well.
It's got a zip, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, a high-vis cagoule is about $5. You know.
Also, that's mine. It's now on my cane.
Oh, that was the torch that you were demonstrating to us a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Torch
Well, I was
light,
supposed to
yeah.
use it this afternoon, but my hospital appointment got cancelled, so that's why I'm on tonight, this afternoon, because I went to work this morning.
Okay, great.
I won't be on, by the way, just to let you know, now you're having this every fortnight, I won't be on Zoom anymore.
Oh,
because it doesn't roll in with my date.
Okay. Well, talking about dates, obviously, because Robert's mentioned it, I think what we'll do is move on. I've got a couple of things that I was going to talk about, but as Robert's raised dates, yes, we are moving to every fortnight, but I did put in the email about the fact that if anybody is interested in an evening session, then to let me know, because I'm trying to work out.
Yeah, I'd be interested.
Yes, I would as well.
It would.
Nighttime would work better for me, even if I was at a theatre.
Yeah, that would work best for you. That's quite encouraging. So I know there are some other people that haven't been able to attend this session that had said that they would also. So, sorry, Robert.
It would work better for me because, but I just get home later on at night, So, but I should be home by 6.
Okay, so if we were to do one. What if I ask you guys now, because obviously I have asked people to respond to emails, so I'll collate those responses as well. But if we were to do one, would you want something that was based around a support centre on its own, or would you want something that was more of a social activity on its own, or would you want a combination of the two?
Probably a combination.
Wherever,
so
really, because
a little bit of information, but a little bit of a chat and
Yeah, it's a good format. Louise, could I just mention to you, Ruth is also at the moment trying to sort out IT Zoom meetings on Tuesday afternoons. So if yours could be arranged for Tuesday evening, say 6 p.m, that would mean that those of us who work would just have to take the same half day off work, whether it's Ruth or yourself on that particular week. Do you follow?
Yes, I don't know how I've asked Ruth, I've tasked her to do that, and I did actually give her your name here, so
she's been in touch. Yeah,
she's been in touch, which is good. I'll find out exactly what Ruth's day is planned. I'm quite happy to do it on a different day of the week rather than a Wednesday, because obviously we do this on a Wednesday, so we can do a Tuesday. I would probably think a Tuesday or a Thursday is most likely. So I'll take that as a one nomination for a Tuesday evening at the moment. I would probably, if I'm being honest, think a little bit later than 6 p.m.
Right.
So because that tends to fall literally bang slap when people are doing tea. Or supper. So I'm thinking probably more likely 7:30.
Sounds good. Yeah.
7:30 till 9, so that we put some parameters around it. And it isn't going to be a weekly one, but I think it will definitely meet the needs of some people that can't come along to this meeting. So I just wanted to find out.
Yeah. Well, I have no idea what days of the week Coronation Street is on, but is 7:30 on a Tuesday going to be a clash for some people?
Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to compete with Coronation Street. I don't
record it.
Or
I think you might
EastEnders
need
or
to
something.
contact them, Louise.
Just ask the wife.
Yeah.
I was born in Coronation Street, so I'm not bothered about it.
You look a bit like Albert Tatlock, actually.
Thank you very much.
Actually,
this was a Welsh one.
Coronation Street was born on my mum's birthday, and in the year I was born.
All right.
So that's been going for 60 years.
So you're giving away your age, you know?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, 60, yeah.
You don't look a day over 21, Robert, but...
I know.
Yeah.
And the rest.
And the rest.
In case anybody's interested about high-vis jackets,
yeah,
£3.60.
£3.60. Where's that from, Nikki?
That's Screwfix.
Screwfix. Okay.
Yeah, they're very cheap.
Good.
Yeah.
So, all right then. Right, what we're going to do is, I've got a couple of things on my my list of things. Like I say, there wasn't a formal agenda today. Ian raised a question before Christmas, referenced the census, and we were going to make some inquiries with the local authority to find out what their plans were to support sort of visually impaired and disabled people, or those with learning difficulties, in being able to complete it.
Yeah.
So Kate Perkins has managed to speak to the census liaison manager for Warwickshire, who's called Sally Bannister. She was extremely helpful, and most of us, I think, as in organisations, will receive an online request in February with an access code to sort of start working out how we can sort of express to them what we need and what sort of support we need to help you.
Right.
Apparently there is a big meeting taking place tomorrow. As charities, obviously charities like ourselves cannot open support centres at the moment, and therefore we cannot help people with the completion of the forms, and field officers can't come out, obviously, to support that process. This obviously affects not just VIs, old people, people with hard of hearing, those that can't stand because of social distancing, etc. So Sally is going to call us back on Friday to let us know the outcome of the meeting. She hopes that there will be an agreement to delay the deadline until the summer, when things may have returned to some form of normality. She's also saying that in February, she's happy to come along to a Zoom meeting if things have been agreed, to then be able to talk directly to our service users and themselves to explain what the process will be moving forward.
That's good.
So that's as much as we know at the moment, but it's obviously concerns have been raised at the appropriate level. Hopefully they'll take it into consideration. I would think this latest lockdown is going to throw a lot of their own plans into a little bit of disarray. So if it does get delayed till the summer, then that will be quite good, because we can support you in our support centres then. So
yeah, that's excellent. Thanks for doing that.
No problem. Now, we had there was a mention of a scam earlier, but there's another scam that's going around at the moment, and you're probably aware of it. It's a scam alert: fake NHS COVID-19 vaccine text messages and calls. So apparently dangerous fake messages are being sent out via text, sort of seemingly from the NHS, telling people that they are eligible to apply for a COVID-19 vaccine, and they want you to click on a link. That is not how anyone is going to be contacted. If they're going to be contacted for a vaccine, it'll be by their doctors, and it'll be, you know, there won't be clicking a link. It'll be making sure that you phone up to make the appointment.
Yeah.
So just be mindful of that. I think Kath mentioned a scam earlier, and I think also James said that there was a scam that you wanted to make reference to. What's that, James?
Do you want to put something on HMR?
It's your RMC. If my mum didn't pay the actual amount owed,
Oh,
yeah, fake tax demand. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a common one.
Quite a lot, and they're trying to basically put the parent, if they don't pay it, then there'll be court action taken against them and stuff in the letter.
Yeah, that's a scam, definitely. There's another one that started today, which my partner's just had, which is a fake tax refund, and enticing you to click on a link to claim your refund. Yeah, so there's a few around, and the usual Amazon ones. You know, your account will be debited unless you ring up and stop it. You know, all that. Yeah, just don't trust any of them, to be honest.
No, be skeptical, not necessarily, you know, obviously just give it some thought. If it's too good to be true, it often is too good to be true. And if in doubt, maybe then put a phone call into Warwickshire Vision, and we can make a check for you on your behalf if you can't access online. I often find, if I'm unsure about it, if I get an email, if I then just literally type in a random sentence with that email, you know, the sort of so-and-so alert or whatever, there's something that comes up. I'm never the first. So there's usually lots of information available online about these types of scams. So try to avoid being taken. So
yeah, that's it. There's lots of them around, sadly.
Wasn't sure if was there another one, James? Or
Yeah, it was just Rona's got a website for you to report them to, but I'll message you later after this.
yeah, message me, James, and I can then put it in the update, can't I? That's great. Fantastic. Okay. Now the other thing, has anyone heard of the site village that's run in Solihull?
Yes.
There's one on the 19th and 20th of January.
Yeah, that's right. Well, obviously the site village is normally a physical event whereby organisations that provide technology or support services for VIs showcase their wares over a couple of days. I know I've attended in the past, and it is open to the public as well as to organisations. That was cancelled last year. They have actually got dates scheduled for June this year. But in advance of that, they're actually, as Robert was just saying, they're actually running a virtual site village on the 19th and 20th of January. And what I'll do is I will make sure within the email I send out that there is a link to the website where you can find full details. But if you are interested, they have got a sort of a schedule of virtual type Zoom events where they will, I think Sight and Sound will be sort of headlining it. Then there's Humanware, Vision Aid, I think Pamtrad Seeing Solutions, Dolphin Access. I know some of people have had Dolphin Access in the past. Enhanced Vision, I think Richard Bowring the other week talk from Enhanced Vision. And it's over 2 days. So if you can't see some of the sort of seminars online on day one, you'll be able to catch up with them on day two. I think Amazon as well, Introduction to Amazon Echo. They're doing a presentation. So that's the 19th and 20th of January. I will put the link in an email if anybody's interested in connecting. Then that is a virtual site village. And like I say, the website does indicate that they have actually scheduled one for June. That will be subject, obviously, to COVID restrictions. Hopefully, we're sort of through this by then. But yeah, okay.
Will that be in Shirley again in Solihull?
The physical one in June is, yes, it's scheduled to be at the same conferencing centre in Solihull.
Right. Okay.
So, but obviously, like, there is a virtual one, but
yeah.
I'm just trying to think. Just have it up on my screen, but it's not on this particular tab at the moment. But yes, when I checked it this morning, it's in, I think it's the same location in Solihull where it's been before.
Yeah, right. That's part of me courting ground, that was.
Ah. I have to say, in addition to Coronation Street, you've got a story around every corner, haven't you, Mike?
Not
You're
every
going to say he's got
corner.
to go around every corner.
I'm sure this lady would.
I know people say I'm round the bend. I don't know whether that's the same.
Yeah, I'm one of them.
Parallel if you mentioned humanware.
Yes, sorry, I was just trying to catch you on my screen. Everyone's moved around again, David. Sorry, what did you say?
A quick parallel story re humanware.
Okay.
Dare say some of us, like me, have got humanware products. I've got Victor Readers and I've got Victor Trekker and Breeze. Both of mine have actually stopped working. They won't pick up the satellites for some reason. When I try to make contact, I'm getting no response either by phone or by email at the moment. So I don't, if you've got trouble with pieces of kit, I wouldn't hold your breath as about trying to get support out of them at the moment. I mean, I tried 3 or 4 days ago and getting no response at all. So I hope if you have got kit, yours is all right.
Okay.
At the moment, if I were go wandering out alone, I am totally alone because I've got no satellite sat navs at all.
Okay. What I might do is that we've got some contacts for the people that normally try to tout goods to us from Humanware. So I'll see whether or not
Their helplines are not picking up. I mean, you leave a message, which I've done.
Yeah.
An email didn't come back, but it may be due to COVID. I don't know. But,
it could be, yeah, it could be COVID, or I suppose if it's
it will be COVID, but just don't hold your breath.
No.
That's just an additional story re Humanware.
Okay. No, thanks for that, David. I did see Jane's hand up actually.
Louise, I was just going to say that before Christmas, I contacted the people doing the sleep survey.
Oh, yes.
And actually, they were very efficient. They've been back to me. We've actually completed the survey, and they will be in touch with me in the future.
Wow, great. I'm
So
glad.
thank you for that. It was very well organised. And they did it with me I couldn't do it online because it took 45 minutes.
Yeah.
They did it over the phone, and it was very helpful.
It took me about 45 minutes online. Yeah, I didn't actually realise I could do it over the phone, but yeah, finally got there.
Oh, that's great. Well, I'm glad actually a couple of you have managed to participate in that. Really, you know, again, hopefully the research will then come out, and you know, we'll find ways of benefiting you as well in the future if you've participated.
Well, I think they're concentrating on melatonin. I thought it was going to be dopamine, but it's not. It's on melatonin. Which, so they said they'll come back to me in a few weeks to ask me to take part in something else.
Good. Well, let us know how you get on.
So thank you for that.
Well, actually, that leads on to something else that I know a few of you participated in, which is British Blind Sports Live Workout Week, which has started again this week. So I just wondered if anybody has signed up.
Yes, I've been doing it, and I've done the 2 classes this week already. Monday was strength and tone, and yesterday was HIIT. Tonight I'm going to pass on yoga. Tomorrow I'll be doing boxercise, and then Friday I'll pass on Pilates. But yeah, the 3 that are good for me, they're very good indeed.
Excellent. I might put another link out within the email just to remind everybody in case they want to sign up, sort of to beat the Christmas.
Bulge.
And if you can't actually participate in the live sessions, the following week they send out an email with links to recordings of sessions, which you can just play anytime you like, you know, in your own time, and they take you through the whole class, you know, in a pre-recorded format.
Good. That's great. Now, something else I'm going to talk to Mel, who's disappeared, as in Mel Pritchard, she's disappeared. I'm going to talk to her about outside of this meeting about is she's doing a virtual Braille training course. And I just wanted to ask whether or not, I know if Kate is still online. I'm trying to look around my screen. I think Kate's actually disappeared, but Kate's a Brailler, but I just wondered if there are any other Braille readers and users of the group.
Yeah.
Raise your hand, Paul.
Yeah, I am.
Level 2.
but I already go to a class, and we've kept it going sort of through the lockdown as well. So I go to one that's taught by Coventry Adult Ed. Is this frozen? Oh no.
No, you're still there. No, we're all just we're eagerly watching you. That's why.
Right, yeah. So we've been doing. It starts again Monday actually, and for the next term. So we're doing it remotely again this term, I think. So, but I've got up to the stage where I can read books. I can't read it very quickly, but I am able to read it now. So.
Did it take you a long time to get the hang of it?
Yeah, it took me to go through the course, probably 3 or 4 years. I mean, I did some stuff with Mel at the beginning, and she lent me one of the courses to read, and I went through it. But then at the class, I was going more slowly, and we went through it. Probably there was 30 chapters in this course, and I think probably a year or something like that.
Was it the Australian version?
No, what was it? I can't think what it's called now. It's actually the one they use to teach it. If people are going to teach it, I think, what's it called? I've had a brain fade. But it's a print one anyway. You do it. So there's a print book that comes with it, and then I think there is a Braille version as well. And I just wish for the life of me I could remember what it's called. It'll come to me after the meeting, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Ian.
Oh, sorry, I was going to say it might be nice to know. I don't need to read Braille, but it might be nice to know enough to read the Braille on pharmaceutical products.
Yes, I agree with that.
Most people, I think the Braille they come across most of the time is just on your packets of pills.
Yeah. And it's the grade 1 Braille as well for the packet, so which is slightly easier compared to level 2, obviously.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's just single letters rather than.
That's it. So it'd be nice to know enough to read that, but not necessarily need it to read books or anything, you know.
Paul's now sort of holding up his Unified English Braille Primer.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the one.
Yes.
Couldn't remember
English version.
This is a large print version, and it goes through each, like starts at the beginning, and it goes through each groups of letters and then groups of contractions.
Numbers and interactions, yes.
But I think Mel uses a thing called fingerprint, which is different, which is a better one, I think, because it teaches you as it goes along. It teaches you the different contractions, but it doesn't use words that don't have them. That use stuff that you haven't actually learned yet. If you get what I mean. So it'll start with, like, there's a contraction for TH, for example, but it won't use any words with the TH in it until you actually reach that stage. So it's been better designed in that sense.
But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a chat with Mel and find out whether or not her just giving a brief overview of what her course is all about, and if there's anyone interested. Something that Maria and I have been talking about is that, you know, when that happy day comes that we can open the doors of the support centres again, you know, it is our intention to re-energise them with some different activities, and we've got funding to provide things which are like simple Braille cubes, which will teach you some of the very basic letters. And Maria herself said that one of her aims, because Maria is trained in Braille, would be to get everyone so that they can actually, if they need be, sort of identify prescription medication and like paracetamols and stuff like that, everything really, anything that's got Braille on it. And I think, as you say, Ian, that's probably a good level to start at, isn't it?
Yeah.
And knowing that Paul is in the Nuneaton Sports Centre, that means we have a good start there, aren't we?
Yeah.
I think the Nuneaton's going to be spoiled because, like you say, you've got Kate as well. I know.
Yes, and Kate, yes.
Sandra. So you've got a few Braille.
That's it. Yes, we got few in Nuneaton actually. Yeah, very good.
So okay, that's great. So well, I'll do a little bit more work on that, and then we'll just introduce that at some point. Okay, the last couple of things that I've got on my list before I open it back up to the floor for any other business is that in 2 weeks' time, we have a company. Sorry, I'm flicking between my screens here. We have a company joining us. I think Ian, you've mentioned holidays already today, but this is a holiday company that provides holidays, accessible holidays, and they're just going to come and give us a little bit of an overview about what they do and obviously how people could access holidays through them in the future. That's called Tourism for All.
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
And then 2 weeks after that, on Wednesday, the 3rd of February, we have a lady from Wright Hassel Solicitors joining us to talk about products and services, including wills. And I know that's been raised
Yes.
in the past. So that'll just be a chat as to, from a solicitor's point of view, what they
If she can take us through the wills aid, the free wills, if you make a donation to charity, that would be great. Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. So that's what we've got. I know we are looking, I'll have a chat with Mel about maybe guide dog talk. Obviously, there's the Braille talk, and I think we're also thinking about getting one of the rehab officers along just to give have a brief chat about independent living, and you'll be able to throw any questions you've got towards rehab about assistance in the home if you've got any issues and equipment. So from my point of view, I haven't got anything else to say or to talk about, but is there anybody else? Is there any other business as such? Right, I've got Paul waving his hand first.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I was going to go to London before Christmas, and I'd bought the tickets, and I've managed to get a refund on that with the help of Kate, who's not here today, obviously, but so she would have probably mentioned it, but we contacted West Midlands Trains, and the website itself, the reclaim process, wasn't very user friendly, let alone being VI friendly. It wasn't user friendly. So she actually sent them an email on my behalf, and I had a response over Christmas, and they said, we'll give you a full refund because the law actually had accounted for it, apparently, the lockdown rules. So today I've had an email from them actually confirming that I've had the refund as well.
Excellent. Yeah.
Very good.
That's a nice positive story.
I was aware about that. I know Kate's not here, but that's a good bit of news. And it was a shame that you couldn't get down to London, because we'd said to you on one weekly session, have a nice trip. And in that space of that 7 days, we've gone into tier 4, haven't we? So we were back.
Well, it was fortunate I didn't go, because my sister-in-law tested positive for COVID as well, and she was a bit unwell. She had like the mild version of it, but she's okay anyway. She was just sort of a bit rough for a couple of days, and then so it's a good job I didn't go, because I would have been stuck there after Christmas.
How was your turkey?
It was good. But it was huge, and there was loads of it left. So I was eating turkey for about 3 or 4 days afterwards.
I did see the image on Facebook, actually. Yeah, it looked good. Looked a good
I thought I'd do that because I managed to cook it. I thought, oh yes, okay.
Excellent. So, is there anybody else? I'm sort of looking around.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah, James has got a question. Yeah.
The small light it goes on the cane, are they any good?
Robert, that's a question probably for you above. The small light that you have on your cane, is it any good?
Well, I haven't used it in the dark yet, because I was supposed to use it this afternoon. Because I was supposed to go to the glaucoma clinic this afternoon, and so really I would have been back after 4 because it was at 3:30. So I haven't really used it yet, so I don't know when I'm going to use it yet.
Yeah, it's just I'm thinking about getting it, but I'm not sure how sort of powerful it's going to be.
Well, I sort of when I got off the number 4 bus in Rugby, that I got home. I sort of like dawdled home, so that I could get home a little bit dark, when it got to the dark. When it got to the back gate, I was showing somebody because it near enough got dark then. So it was all, and I showed him, and it looked all right.
Right, okay.
But doing it along the actual thing, and of course I've I have actually tried. Actually, I'll show you something now. Hold on just one moment. Oh no, I did. Unless I draw my curtains in the bedroom, and I can actually show you.
We're going to get a
Hold
demonstration.
on just one moment. Hold on just one moment. It might be too dark for it. Might not be dark enough for it.
You be careful walking against your door or
Yeah, hold on a minute.
furniture.
Hold on.
No.
I would think if RNIB
Wait a minute, let me just do it a minute.
I would imagine, James, if RNIB are promoting it, that it must.
Yeah,
have
it must be
Yeah,
something.
just
Yeah.
Side alley to come into my house.
So,
But also there's no light there, so I'm thinking, how do I sort of access that, especially during the winter?
yeah. So
But,
they've
yeah.
not light outside your door.
No, you've got where the car park is. There's nothing there, so we normally come in the back part. So you've got to go through a dark sort of car park, which has got like dips in it.
Here we
And I'm
go.
always hitting them.
Okay, we're following your lead, Robert.
Hold on. No.
And we've got Robert.
Maybe this one. Hold on just one moment.
Yeah.
Wow,
There we go.
That looks quite effective, even without it being dark in that room, Robert.
Yeah.
You see that?
Right up top.
No.
Oh, hold on, wait a minute.
Oh, right, no light on.
you're-
No light
There we
on
go.
now.
Can you see that, James?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think it's quite an effective bright light for those that can't see what Robert's doing. Robert's attached the light to his cane. He's extended his guide cane, and I think it's quite an effective bright light.
Yeah, it's quite bright.
Okay, thank you, Robert.
All right. And when you put it in, I couldn't remember from RNIB yesterday how many times you come off. Oh, it's come off.
Oh.
You've got to go out, so you want to make sure you've got
How
that
long you
back on there
take
securely.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, well, somebody put it on for me, that's why. And what I did was I said that a minute, hold on. Put that there,
Robert.
down there.
Yeah, just if
Yeah,
you,
I know, yeah. And you have to you have to put it in your USB box for 3/4 of an hour. I had to ring RNIB because I didn't know where the things went to. Can't remember seeing any leaflets to it, so they're going to send me something out to it. So it's when you've used it, it lasts 45 minutes.
I just need it for a few minutes to get around the corner, basically.
And then you've got see that.
yeah. What I can do,
Into
James,
your USB box.
do you know the link, or do you want me to put the link in email again, James?
If you can put a link in, that'd be brilliant, and then I'll be able to get one.
Yeah, I will. It's the same one we did previously, so if I put the link in.
James, do you have an iPhone or a smartphone of any kind?
Yeah, smartphone.
Can you turn your torch on? Would that help you as you're walking along?
Yeah, but I'm thinking more for sort of seeing where the stick's going, because there's like divots and stuff on the ground.
Oh, okay. The torches I find are quite bright. Might be worth a try. And it would.
I think they're good though, because they're worth getting, worth every penny.
So I'm definitely going to get them when I like them a bit.
I think they're worth every penny though.
Good. That's great. Yeah.
And it will be cheaper than dropping your iPhone as well.
You just stick in the box. And
What I'll do is I'll put a link in there for James and for anyone else again. We talked about it previously. So is there anybody else that's got anything else to say before we wind up? Ian?
Yeah, just an update. I mentioned before Christmas the BBC Fit programme that talked about the LiDAR feature on iPhone 12.
Yes.
Ruth's come back to me. She's planning to. She's looking for someone to write an article for the forthcoming newsletter and to talk about that feature. I think she and Mel perhaps misunderstood when I said before Christmas you know, that someone might get one for Christmas. I think she misunderstood that to mean that I was getting one for Christmas. Unfortunately, I wasn't, so I'm not able to write the article. But she's looking for someone to write it and to bring that feature to our attention. You know, if anyone's interested, I'm sure Ruth would like to hear from you. Otherwise, we'll look forward to seeing the article.
Yeah, I think what we're just trying to identify an iPhone 12 user, and then we can potentially video the iPhone 12 user using the LiDAR feature, which would mean that we'd have something for the article and obviously a video as well, which would be good. But
that's right. But if you go back and watch the program, it's quite extensive. It shows an actual visually impaired person using it and saying that it's very good for her. You know, so yeah, there you go.
Great. Okay.
You got 2 bits in the middle. You got 2 bits in the middle. That's what it does, and that's how it goes on.
Lovely.
You know that thing about holidays you were saying?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not too. Is that for visually? That's for visually impaired holidays and something like that. Is it not?
I think it's accessible holidays
For visually impaired people.
Yeah, well, for anybody, you know, accessibility holidays. So there's been, you know, they're geared towards people that might need some additional support.
Is that this country, abroad, and everything else?
Well, that's what the lady's coming to talk to us about, Robert.
Yeah, well, you see, because I won't be here next week.
No, it's not next week. It's in 2 weeks' time. It's the 20th.
Yeah, I won't be here right there then.
Okay, well, what we'll do is when she does her presentation, there will be an audio recording as there is today. So hopefully you'll be able to listen. If she's got any literature, then we might be able to distribute that digitally as well.
Please, yeah. Mm.
There's another company that does holidays especially for visually impaired people. And it's what used to be called Guide Dogs Holidays. When that was hived off, it's now a separate company, and they do holidays for visually impaired people and their carers.
Yeah, there's Seable as well, isn't there? Seable.
Seable, that's it. Yeah, I think I call that now. There are a few of them knocking around.
Seable's still around, and Traveleyes is still around.
Traveleyes, that's it.
Yes, Traveleyes quite well known as well.
The thing that Ian's talking about, they closed about 7 or 8 years ago.
Did it actually finally close down?
Yes, it's long gone.
I thought this.
Vitalisers you're talking about.
That's right. Is that gone now?
Long gone.
Oh, right. So it looks like there's a couple of others have taken its place then.
No. There was at the time there was another organisation that started before that went. Now been going 15 years, called Traveleyes.
Yeah.
But that has been shut down since March this year. I've used them quite extensively, and in fact, you can probably see them they often go to the show that we were talking about earlier. The thing
Site Village, yeah.
They go to all the site villages, and Amal Latif is well known, who is seen on television quite a lot.
Right. So
different programs as well. He's quite a charismatic person.
So the gentleman who was just asking about holidays for visually impaired people, there are a couple of alternatives then.
Yeah, there are there.
Most of this people at the moment.
We're actually hoping to do an article on Amal Latif for the next magazine because he won one of the Master Chefs, didn't he, as well?
Well, he didn't win it, no.
Oh, didn't he win it? I know who was on it. Yeah.
He didn't win. He got into the finals.
Ah, well, that's winning for me.
I've known Amal for years. He is he's very charismatic.
No, that's great. Well, what I'll do is I'll put those links to those other companies, Seable and Traveleyes, in the email. And just for your reference, Robert, I think Tourism for All does cover mostly UK regions, Northern Ireland and the Channel Islands and Scotland. So
it seems to be UK, as well.
But yeah, and it's for not just visually impaired people. They sort of autism friendly as well as. So I'll put the links in, Robert, and hopefully if we get any literature, then we can share that after the event. So great. Okay, anything else? Because I think we're nearly at 1 hour and a half, as we usually are. So, we'll probably wind up, and I will get the audio prepared and uploaded as quickly as I can, together with obviously a bit of an update with all these links sent out.
Yeah.
I'm going to dive off because I've got some stuff which has just come in. So good to see you all.
No problem, David. You take care. We're all closing down now anyway. So what I'll do, thank you ever so much for joining us. Hopefully we'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Thank you, Owen, for coming in on this one. I know that you won't necessarily come along every week, but it's good for you to get a flavour of sort of the things that we're talking about and the format for the group. But yeah, so goodbye. See you in 2 weeks' time.
Thanks, Louise. Great session.
So look out for it. Okay. Bye.
Cheers. Thanks a lot. See you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye, Mark.
Goodbye. Bye.
Bye.